So today we are going to be making some simple shapes using very simple code actually. So we're going to make a new project called Unit 5, Lesson 1, like so. What's in here? We're only going to be using blocks. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we'll get rid of this. All we need is this. We'll type in cube, like so. There we go. Make that bigger. And we need this right here. This is all we need. This piece right here. I apologize if my screen's laggy. For some reason, every time I record my screen, I can see lag on my screen, but I don't think you guys can actually see the lag on your screen. Maybe you can, I'm not too sure. But okay, so let's continue with that. So we're going to make cube, and we're going to make a small cube. So all we're going to do is put 5 here, 5, 5. We'll do 10, 10, 10. We'll make it a replace structure. Okay, now if I type in cube, do one more time. You can see I made a cube that's 5 by 5 by 5. Super easy. Now I know this can get really difficult really quickly, right, when we make more complicated shapes, so we're going to keep it simple. This is how you make a cube. If I wanted to make a taller cube, or rather a taller cuboid, I would adjust this value. So we'll put tall cuboid. I would adjust this value to be 15. And this will make it 5 taller than it currently is right now. So we'll put tall. Where is it? There we go. Tall cuboid. Okay. Can we see it? There it is. So you can see this is much taller, right? Now it's the same size, width-wise, but it's just much taller. Now, what about if we want to make a shape that was wider? Not taller, but wider. Well, we can do that too. By adjusting one of two values. Wide cuboid. We can either adjust this one here, or this one here. Let's adjust this here. Okay. We'll type in wide cuboid. Cuboid. Oh, that was the incorrect thing. Cuboid. There we go. You can see how it's made a wide cuboid. There we go. Now it's wider than it is tall. And if we were to adjust the other value, which is the one on the right hand side, well, it would make a wide cuboid just in the opposite direction or the other direction. So I'll show you what that means right now. There we go. Can you see how this wide cuboid goes from left to right, and this one goes spans further into the distance? So it's not actually absolutely necessary that you know which one is which. All that you need to know is that the first column and the last column go forwards, backwards, left and right, and this middle one goes up and down. That's all you really need to know for all of these here. Now we're going to make some more interesting things. What are some more interesting things we can make? Well, we can make some interesting things like a pyramid, for example. How do we make a pyramid? Well, it's actually quite simple, and I want you to focus because it can get tricky if you are not focusing. So we're going to type in pyramid, like so. Okay. And actually, before we do the pyramid, let's do a tree first. Right, tree. So to make a tree, there's two elements to a tree. There's the actual trunk and then the tree part, right? So let's make this, let's use oak planks, why not? And then for this, we'll try and find leaves. Is there leaves? Leaf. Leaf. Oh, there is a leaf block. Okay, fine. We'll use jungle leaves. Why not? Actually, we'll use these flowering azalea leaves. There we go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep it super simple, right? So I'm going to make this, let's make it 5. And we don't want it to be too big, so we'll do 6. This will be 5, this will be 6. So it's going to be a very thin structure. And we want to start from the ground, so we'll do 0. So it's going to be quite a tall tree. Let's do that for now and see what happens. So we'll type in tree. You see, this is the trunk of our tree, right? Perfect. Now, if I wanted to build on top of this tree, well, I have to find out where the coordinate that controls down and up ends. So this will be this one right here. Ends at 10. So I'll put this in here right here. We'll go and say, let's do because we want to make it a little bit fatter, right? So we'll do 3 and 7, 3 and 7 here. And this one will be 10. And we'll make it, yeah, why not? We'll make it 15. Okay. So now when I type in tree, what's going to happen? Wow, you can see that we made a tree. And yeah, it's an odd looking tree. It's not great. It's not a great looking tree, but it is a tree. And we can make this better, right? So we can think about how we can make it better. Well, let's try and make it fatter, right? Because it's going further this way than it is going this way. So let's try and fix that. We could try and fix that. Let's try and fix it here. So I think if we did this from 2, perhaps that might fix it. Let's see if that fixes the problem. Okay, so it did not fix the problem. It actually made things a little bit worse, right? Let's try again. So if we do, I think I know what the issue is. So if we did, let's do, so if we take 2 away from 5, so we'll do 3, and we'll add 2 here, we'll do 8. This should, I think this should fix the issue we're having, I think. And matter of fact, we'll make it really short. So we'll make it a very, very thin trunk. Let's see what happens now. And that way we can do 7 here and 7 here. Not 78, 7. There we go. Like a tree. Good. Okay, so that tree looks much better, right? Well, I think it looks much better. Tree. Okay. Good. Perfect. Okay, this is how you make a tree, right? Super, super simple. Okay. So that seems quite confusing. I know how that can seem really confusing, but it was actually really simple, right? All we did was make a small structure, a thin, tall structure, by starting 5 ahead of us and ending 5 ahead of us. So that's 1 block, and then 1 block's sort of distance. Do the same thing for this side here. So we make a 1 block shape that goes up by 10, which is what tree is, right? So 1 block wide on each side, and it goes up by 10. And because it goes up by 10, we need to start the leaves at 10, right? Or 11. So if we start at 11, that will actually achieve the same thing. That's what we just did. There we go. Perfect. Okay. That's how we make a tree. Really good. So we can try and make a tree at home, well, in the lesson, and see how that works. Let's try and do some other things now. So let's start really, really simple. So we're going to start with 1 to 11. And the reason we never start at 0 from here is because if we start at 0, it'd land on our head, which would not be ideal. We'll do 0 to 1. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens up in base. Like so. Okay. Okay, so it's made it's actually 2 blocks tall, so maybe we need to change this to 0. Yeah. There we go. Move over here so we can get some distance. Okay, now it's made a base for us. Now we can start building more and more layers on top of this to make a pyramid. So, well, think about this. What do we need to do? A pyramid gets smaller each time it goes up by 1 layer. So we're going to go up by 1 layer by adding 1 here. And then at this point, we're going to go to 2. And here we're going to go to 10. We're going to do the same on the other side. And this should be 2 as well. Let's see what happens now. We type in base. Let's see what happens. Look, so we started to make our pyramid, right? Really good. So now we want to do the same thing again. We want to go up by 1 and make it smaller each time we go up, right? Good. So to go up, we increase the distance or the starting point and the ending point of our up and down coordinate. And this one will go up, and this one will go down. Same here. This will be 3. This will be 9. Good. Okay, start the pyramid again, or base. Good, so you can start to see that we're making our pyramid, right? So it can be a little bit finicky to do this, but But what I really want you to understand is change one thing at a time. Don't try and do this all at once. I can do it because I've done this so many times, right? I've got so much practice doing this. So I can just do it in my head. But you guys, it's the first time you're doing this. And if you think about the first time you did anything, you were probably really bad at it, right? Even the first time you started talking when you were a baby, you were really bad at talking and you got really good. The first time you started walking, you were really bad at walking and now you guys are really good, right? The first time you tried anything, you were really bad at it. But over time, if you practice and you improve day by day, lesson by lesson, you'll get to a point where you can do things in your head and you can finally build pyramids without even referencing a guide, like I'm able to do now. And it'll be really easy, right? And you'll be really proud of yourself. So this is the end of lesson 1. In the worksheet, there'll be some more guides and some more explanations as to how this works. And there'll be a worksheet, or rather a template, that you can use to plan out your pyramid so that you can understand what coordinates to use, right? And it helps to break down things into simpler chunks. So don't try and do everything at one time. Try and break things down slowly. And if you make a mistake, that's fine. Making mistakes is part of the process. I want you to make mistakes. If I see you trying 50 different times and then finally getting it right on the 51st time, that's exactly what I want to see. Okay, so guys, I'll see you in the next lesson, and hopefully this will be a really fun lesson for you. So, goodbye.